Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Disillusioned Plays, where we play the games and do the voices. Last time on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, we finally set foot in court. So it'd be interesting to see how Ryunosuke handles an English courtroom. And we met the Reaper of the Old Bailey.
The Grim Reaper of the Old Bailey?
Baron von Zeiks.
Yes.
And somehow... he's come out of a, was it like 5-year stint of not being in the courtroom? Conveniently came back today.
That, yeah. He awoke from his long, he awoke from his long slumber.
The big sleep. Quite full of himself. It is a murder investigation and somehow managed to get a carriage in the courtroom, which is the crime scene.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
No, it's called an omnibus.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, an omnibus. Yes.
Like Emmerdale.
Oh, God, no. No, we don't want that kind of omnibus. Jesus Christ.
No, absolutely not.
Yes, I believe we are investigating the murder of, was it Thrice-fired Mason?
Yes. He made unbreakable bricks, apparently.
Yes.
Aye.
Who was murdered on the omnibus, and Magnus McGuilded is the prime suspect.
Aye.
So before we find out Mr. McGuilded's fate, Mr. Mom. I'm Sarah.
Hey, no. My name is Magnus McGuilded, not back in McGuilded.
I'm Pete.
Sarah's dead, and I'm Taylor.
Nice.
Also, before I forget, if you like what we do and you like this tomfoolery, like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell for notifications of our new videos.
Yeah.
In
the intro card, I hope that like Sarah's picture is like on its side, just like dead from her laughing.
Let's just get over this, please. It didn't help that these guys were putting me off before I introed, and I hate introing at the best of times.
Well, that's just not true. Why would you lie?
You don't have to make up stuff, Sarah, just to try and make it...
Get stuffed. Bug off.
That's just not nice.
That's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing.
For God's sake.
Do you mind staring? That's what she said.
What?
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8...
Well, there doesn't actually appear to be any horses.
And you can carry up to 8 passengers.
Oh, okay.
4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows
Well, I'm not a Londoner.
that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus.
Londoners. They're just like us.
Londoners. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
Oh.
A skylight.
His face!
I love that face. It's just like...
What the heck is a skylight? I've never heard of one of those. The penny drops at last, I see.
What's a penny?
These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place.
Oh God, what was this guy's voice?
He had a like really sort of, was it high-pitched almost? Oh, hello.
I guess, yeah, probably.
And the other one, I've forgotten, so he's probably
he's
gonna
very distinguished, like, yes, of course.
Oh, yes, so it's basically, I said no, sir.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yes, because I only have about 3 different voices I can do. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight.
That makes perfect sense.
Well, Counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. Oh, goodness gracious.
I love that his like little wig like goes to the side.
There are a number of There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well. I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
Oi, oi! Where's we supposed to keep this thing? He's taking up half the courtroom.
So this is your...
I ain't got room in the evidence locker.
Excuse me, sir, you do realise this omnibus is our livelihood? You can't just... we need some compensation.
I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence.
Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary.
So you know what's bothering me? So look at the lantern there, right? And
the
lights that...
The glowy vases.
Yes, that don't actually have any, like, candles or anything inside of them.
And there's just like a sprite flashing on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah, what about it?
That bothers me. It bothers me.
Just the flashing.
It's those old-fashioned electromagnetic lamps, I guess.
Well, I guess this was like a 3DS game.
Well, yeah.
This was a 3DS game. So if you've got to if you think about how tiny the 3DS screen was, like that'll have looked amazing.
Like with Luke Atmey's profile in the original one, where it was, probably a little bit less obvious than it was when you could see it in the full screen.
Well, apparently,
it was very, very obvious.
In the original, apparently, like the silhouette wasn't him.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of more mysterious. It was more generic.
Yeah, they just made it like super obvious.
Yeah.
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough investimation, seeing as it's here.
Investamination.
Vestamination.
Let us continue with proceedings, then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Is it the part where I yell objection?
He's like, don't cut his head off, don't cut his head off, don't cut his head off, don't cut his head off.
All right, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke! Focus!
Focus. Oh no, don't start with him. The guy whose voice I can't remember. Oh yeah, and the shaky guy.
Oh, that was him.
You were... Oh, goodness.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. Bleeding hell, it's killed.
The victim and man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
The whole night! It was an armor and everything!
This is literally just yes or no, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's right! He stabbed him! I screamed, I did! Couldn't help it!
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too.
All right. So when it happened, the only two people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And, so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend do the deed.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation.
Do you think, Susato?
Really?
Jeez.
Really,
Oh, my
Susato?
goodness.
What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGuilded really innocent? Or could it be?
Before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
Yes!
Yes!
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Let's listen to those witness statements again. A little more carefully this time.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was the last bus of the evening.
I guess we press.
Press. The victim and the man accused of the killing were sat next to each other Then out of the blue, the accused reached over and plunged the knife in. He stabbed him. I screamed. Oopsie daisy, as soon as I heard the scream, shit, I kind of accidentally pressed the
All
button.
right, so when it happened, I set into my cockney. All right, so when it happened, and so help me, free ho people, witness the man I'm trying to defend do the deed. I'm up shit creek without a paddle, I am.
What was the last statement again?
That he saw it as well.
Yeah, as soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Right, okay, so do we have... Let's have a look. What do we know? Stabbed onto the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying on an omnibus, died due to internal hemorrhaging trauma. Okay, that makes sense. Crime scene photograph. Yep, that seems pretty conclusive. Oh, there's a button missing on this thing. I wonder if that'll come into it. That's not going to come into it at all. Gloves. Let's say on the glove. And the omnibus. Right, yeah, as you say. I think we're definitely...
we need to press.
I think I am inclined to agree. Should we start with number one?
Might as well start
Just
from the beginning,
start
that
from
way.
the top.
Start
Yep.
from the top.
That way we minimize the chance of us pressing in the wrong order and then us not triggering the dialogue flag,
Yeah.
which has never happened before.
Never.
Not even once. And has never resulted in us having to go online and look up a walkthrough so that we could figure out that we missed the one dialogue
How
flag because we
dare
didn't do things
you?
in the
A
exact specific
walkthrough?
order.
Excuse me, sir. I think you'll... Disillusion Plays are real gamers. And real gamers don't have to look up walkthroughs to proceed. So I absolutely do not agree with that insinuation.
I'm sorry. I have brought shame to myself.
Maybe just a little bit. But never mind.
Yes, I think it was some time after 10, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold it was for freezing, in
Oh,
fact.
yeah, because we've got to look and see about people doing weird
Yeah,
things, haven't we?
reacting, yeah.
Yep, forgot about that.
And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, sir. Not all travelling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no.
And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one alighted, for example.
You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no,
Shall we
no.
look around and see if either one is... Oh,
No,
So nobody fled the scene of the crime then?
Oh, I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening, the last bus of the day.
I don't trust him.
with his shifty little gibbous.
But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what would it be so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see?
Yikes.
Youch.
Times are bad.
Yeah, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, and just trying to warm up again.
When I visit me little Sheila.
Okay, so nothing.
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage?
The carriage? That's right.
I said it correctly.
When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Well, it doesn't appear that you can actually see their faces or their hats from this angle.
But there was not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGuilded.
And he's got a button missing anyway.
Yeah, so he
yes.
has. I mean, we know it's not Mr. McGuilded because he couldn't have fit in the carriage with his big hat.
How can you be so sure?
Well, how can I put it politely? McGuilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't...
Well, I was more than big enough for your mother there, lad.
Why, how dare you, sir? I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget when the vehicle came to a halt. The only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased, Mr. Mason, and Mr. McGuilded. There is no room for doubt here.
I really wish there was.
Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Alright, his voice changed.
I can't.
You actually saw the exact moment it happened!
Didn't I already testify to that?
Nope.
Or are fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy
What the
these
fuck does
days?
dinkum mean?
Fair dinkum.
I don't know.
Is it
Is it?
You're the Brit. You should know what this
fair
means.
dinkum?
Is it?
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Alexa, what does dinkum mean? Genuine and authentic.
Oh, okay, genuine, honest, or true. A real dinkum bloke. As the-
And if you are old dinkum blokes, you'll hit the subscribe button and like this video, am I right?
Nice segue.
Nicely done, sir. I've never heard the phrase like
No,
the expression
dinkum's not
dinkum.
one I've
Oh,
heard.
no, I didn't mean that.
You know what it means, Ryunosuke. What?
This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail.
Oh,
My lord!
Juror number 3? What's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have.
I mean, you look like a right pauper yourself.
yeah.
They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every last one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
What is this?
Oh,
What is this?
okay.
I mean, this does seem like a very
Well, this just seems a little bit elaborate and unsafe.
like authentic worldy.
Totally had that in like the
Courtroom
turn of the
drama.
20th century.
There's no point in wasting time listening to any more of this. It's my opinion on the matter anyway.
Oh no!
Hold it! That is precisely what I was about to say.
Oh no.
As the,
Oh, bother.
as the foreman in the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
By making up your mind before you've heard all the evidence?
Seems
No.
that way. Oh dear.
What is happening here?
Oh,
there it
Is
is.
that in your book as well?
Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty.
What? White and black fire? I'm sorry.
The
what?
scales. One's black,
But
one's
she said
white.
I know that, but she said the fire.
Oh,
She was talking about the fire.
As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case. One by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that
To
mean...
the dark side. Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now I'm even more worried than I was before.
Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance.
Also, good night, it's hot up here. I say, Mr. Beppo, if you would like to warm up a little bit, come and sit by these scales for a minute.
You must be careful. I can't look too far over on the right-hand side there, or I might singe off my beard. Counsel for the defence, please continue with your cross-examination.
He's had to put some fireproof liquid on his beard.
This is the nightmare.
Ha!
That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats.
We're watching you.
I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed.
See, it doesn't look that little to me.
No.
In that image. You
No,
know,
he looks the same. He's like the shoulder heights. They're exactly the same height sat down.
What you can't see is his legs dangling off of the seat.
Yeah, they're just wiggling there.
oh, it's a lovely little
He's got a very long upper body.
Oh, yeah, he's disproportionate to his legs.
I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see. So I was just gazing absent-mindedly around.
I think you need to make a hat design that actually stays on your head.
Yeah.
That would
I
drive
beg your
me
pardon? This was my father's hat, and my father's hat before him. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly. That huge, great knife.
Oh, I'm just bloody freezing, don't mind me.
I don't trust him. I'm just kidding. I just, he's so cold.
We're just having so much fun, like just watching them.
A grim sight indeed.
That didn't help me at all.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh my God.
Sure, it looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before.
He's not sure about this. Really not sure. I think he's pretty darn guilty.
That appears to have made.
Thank you, Susato, for telling me what was very obvious.
That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGuilded is telling the truth.
Damn.
If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Mr. First!
Oh, yes, sir.
Is this the knife you saw?
Friggin' Richter Belmont's Dracula piercing knife? Yes.
Oh, good grief. Yes, that's it. That's the very one, sir.
Look,
Is that...
I just it's like they're leaning over.
Yeah,
He's like,
like,
I can't. It's really hard to see from over here.
Well, I need my eyes tested.
Yes, Counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
Well, it was, through the belly, so not really so much like a stake through the heart.
Well, he was old.
be
His
more
heart could have been
apropos if it
sagging
was
into his
through-
belly.
Oh,
Maybe. He wasn't that old, though, was he? Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
well, I don't know. 30s
No, I'm
middle-aged,
just reading
apparently.
I'm reading the current line.
Ah, I see.
That is a blade of considerable size, Counsel.
I don't know why you'd think it was weird, Taylor.
It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. It's not going to be...
Is it MM? Oh, just M. Okay.
the letter M.
But is it upside down?
True.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a W instead?
Or W. Is it a W?
I ask you.
A W. Well, there's no one with a W for a name.
Well,
I don't know.
Yet.
It's Strongheart. Actually, that is a thing. Wait, because
it's just Baron von Zeiks, isn't he?
male Strongheart.
Oh.
Oh, Magnus McGill. Male. I mean, your first name doesn't make sense, but still.
So now look, actually, even look at the M. Look at the kerning. It's spaced in a weird way.
What, I'm there?
Yeah, like the left-hand side of the M is thinner than the right-hand side.
Yeah, that's just cut. That's
That
just.
is how it is, isn't it?
That's just the way the font is. It's not the kerning, and that's just the style of the lettering.
I think it's because it's actually a W.
Oh, what on the? Wait, on the text itself.
Well, no, but it says M, but it's whatever. They've inverted a W. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard about
I
it.
think.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, actually, there is a W on the screen right now.
And if you look at how the W is
yeah.
written, it's in a different style. I don't think they've inverted a W like that.
Fair
I
enough.
think you may be overthinking it, sir. Just like-
Would have been good though. If
I mean, it's interesting,
It could
but it's
still
also
be.
a bit like, Taylor, you need to relax a little bit. Jeez, you're working that brain a little too hard. You're going to smooth off the hard edges. You don't want to do that.
don't be mean.
The letter M, which seems oddly familiar.
Please, no.
M. For Magnus, perhaps? Or McGuilded, possibly. Take your pick.
Yes, as well as some of the other population of London that might have a name beginning with M.
It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection.
Oh, you said objection. Oh,
But there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
oh wow! I
Jesus
love-
Christ.
He's got a different font for his.
Objection!
I don't know. I have no idea what to do for.
Could be-
Objection.
Objection. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No! This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused.
You don't know that though.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel.
The murder weapon has been entered into the court record.
So now is the thing where we have to look at the knife and.
Oh God, my lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Ah, juror number 2. Go on.
Mr. McGuilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be
Is it sacrosanct?
Sacrosanct.
sacrosanct, yeah. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish.
Oh, bother.
Wow.
No!
I don't wish to cause offence, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
What are you saying?
Oh,
there you go.
okay.
Hold it!
Hold it! I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts.
Well, I've just realised she does sound a little bit like Thingy.
Old bug.
No.
Well, this is just old bag when she's a little younger.
Oh, it could be.
Oh, God. As such, I'm now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Boop. Oh, dear.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, we are in. This ain't going
things going a bit pear-shaped, isn't it?
Not again.
That's 4 out of 6 jury members who have proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left.
We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We are still very much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... all right. I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again.
Now, you were going to do it, though, weren't you?
I was, but I realized that they didn't do it.
Oh, sorry. The way they were talking about it. Oh, I'll just have to listen to the statements again. Just made me think that we'd gone through them all, but we haven't. We didn't do the last one.
Sorry, can we just look at the carriage?
Oh. What do you want to look at in particular?
Because the driver will sit on that little wooden seat there. How can he see it?
Yes.
He wouldn't be able to see it surely, or he...
When the carriage came to a stop, he said.
Yeah, but he said he heard the scream and then he saw... Did he see it after? Phoenix, right?
what? Wait,
Omnibus! Ah! Nice!
Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. The skylight, perhaps? You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us.
I'm just wondering if, like, he wouldn't be able to see it in the carriage itself, or he'd struggle.
Oh,
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ah, the scene of a murder. It's horrible.
Get used to it.
Whoa. Oh no, it's not busted, is it? It's supposed to. It's just. Oh, what was that little handle?
Well, yeah.
oh.
This seat has a handle, it seems.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh.
Oh, that's for the baggage.
Luggage, yeah.
This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running.
Feeding tubes.
Tubes.
Tubs, rather. Tubes! Wow.
Tubes.
Bell. Oh. Oh no, gavel sound, sorry.
Feeding tubs, wheels, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems.
There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure.
Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway.
Okay. Is that it? I mean, yeah.
There's no way this is irrelevant.
Has someone been hiding in it?
Okay.
That must be it. Someone must have hidden in there, waited for everyone else to leave, and then headed out.
Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition.
Oh, the Crystal Tower! It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Fizzing with excitement.
Don't worry. I will look at the blood.
Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months
Okay,
from
it's
now.
the same thing again. That's the lights. The skylight.
It's quite a large skylight, isn't it?
Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck.
And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin, at least.
Oh, come on. I missed
Really?
it. I missed it. I missed it. I can't find anything out of place.
That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack.
I thought for sure we were going to find something more compelling in here. Check the lamp, maybe? Nope.
Nope,
I'm
that's it.
convinced the driver would have been able to see anything from up there, but I guess it's if he saw it.
No, you're probably right, sir.
It depends on, like, when he saw it. If he, like, stopped and then he means that he then saw it, I don't know.
We've already looked at the roof. Okay, I think that's everything. I think we've seen everything we have to see there. I just love the idea as well. The courtroom's like heating up, and we're all just sort of like, just like
Cole Phelpsing it up over
don't
here.
mi-
Just casually, like, just,
Cole Phelpsing it up. Just like, don't mind us while we just like oogle all the evidence.
Yeah. Excuse us a minute.
That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades.
Dude, you have a large ass sword on your hip.
You say a sword imbued with the spirit of your dead friend.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
dude.
doing?
Oh. Those don't seem like the words.
There we go.
I called it.
Those don't seem like words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's
Oh,
sword.
for God's sake. And wow, even had my comment as well. Okay.
Did we write this?
Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like.
Swing.
Swing.
Oh,
Ornate. And bloody.
And bloody.
ugh, that looks a lot like blood.
It surely is blood. The victims.
Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese
Why?
man's
Did you
blood.
think it was going to be green? It's like,
Hey, that's racist, pal.
that's-
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand, you moron.
Oh, and there's the M. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that does look pretty...
Or the W.
Yeah.
The W.
I think...
An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGuilded's initial.
It does feel like it would be an M, though. Like, I feel like the flourish being at the
Yeah,
end
usually-
would be weird.
Yeah, because usually it's usually like a flourish at the beginning, isn't it? It's not
I
very,
think- yeah.
it's very rare unless they're doing it different, but usually it would be
It's like, yeah, I'd
fancy
say
at
at
the
the
front,
beginning.
at the
Yeah,
start
yeah,
of the
yeah.
letter.
Okay.
And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Ah!
Well, what is it?
Look at this M.
Oh,
If you
okay.
turn it upside... Aha!
Okay.
Aha!
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Taylor. for
Look at
doubting you.
Taylor with the big brains. the
Big brain.
The
The
non-smooth
non-smooth
brain.
brain.
If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change
I
everything.
just love that, like, all of these games do seem to have this thing of, like, wait, if you take this thing and look at it from the other way, it completely changes everything. It's just,
A W?
they keep doing it.
Yes, this is one of those,
Oh.
there it
There
is.
it is.
You know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. Did somebody say turnabout?
I'm afraid I don't know it all. But what I am sure of is that this is an M.
Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. Oh,
Don't.
my brain is smooth after
Sorry,
all.
they pooped on your bonfire.
Wow. Okay, that's that. We got the
Well, that was
gloves, the glooves.
inside the gloves. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Well, nothing will come of grumbling now.
No. By the way, is Mr. McGuilded right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Pity. If only he'd been left-handed.
I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
Ah, yes, the blackened inside of the glove. Black as a man's soul. I don't know. Okay, yep, that's.
Black as a properly made cup of coffee.
And obviously, this is. Oh,
Oh.
what is this?
Kazuma. Oh.
Yep, obviously irrelevant. Okay, I guess we should probably get back to the important bit.
Yeah. Actually,
Excuse me.
okay.
We've been waiting for the past 30 minutes. Are you quite finished perusing the evidence?
Quite finished. Wait a second. I can't switch back to profiles now.
Oh. Weird.
That is weird. Right, so the final thingy statement.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Which is, where you can probably be like, well, actually, how the heck
Yeah.
would you see it?
What exactly did you see?
Oh, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor, he was.
And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this. But the guy was on the seat.
That had the knife in his hand like this.
Yeah.
You couldn't stab somebody. You were supposed to reach across and do
Well,
it.
I was thinking more that, wasn't he saying that he heard a scream, stop the Oh, okay, no, I suppose the knife... Wait, yeah, I'm thinking that the knife was plunged into the guy, right? So he wasn't holding him, it was... I don't know, whatever. By the other passenger, obviously, you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGuilded.
And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly.
It wouldn't go like that, though. If he raised it up and stabbed it... He'd have to, like, lean across, because he was sat next to him.
Yeah, he did say he reached across and plunged into his gut, so which is it? What?
That's kind of weird. I don't know. The logistics of that seem weird.
My lord, I wish to speak. Yes. Juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But then I said to myself, screw it.
But
I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say.
No, please, just keep an open mind a little longer.
Get up now, Silverblaze. The finish is in sight.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
Bother.
So it's gonna be the old lady.
Oh, Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
this is too unkind, sir.
Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Which
The old lady is our only hope.
Hello.
Madame Juror number 6.
Oh, yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Yes, I certainly have. I've still got my hearing, you know.
And I hope that your arm is still working very well. Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning?
I haven't finished my knitting.
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. Oh, I always go to the park around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near here where I live. McGuilded Park, it's called.
Huh?
I understood that reference.
The gentleman donated it to the city, you know. To put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have anything in it, wouldn't have it in him to take another man's life.
He is always doing wonderful things for the city.
That's right. A man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, may we go to McGuilded Public Library later and borrow some more books?
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people
A lot
not
of them,
know
because there's always clouds in London.
what kind of a man Magnus McGuilded really is?
What kind of a man is he?
The philanthropist Magnus McGuilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls.
What?
Stone the crows!
McGuilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Well, it is funny, isn't it? Because he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you loads of money to us." It's like, may or may not be loaning
There's
it.
some funny mittens. Looks more like a jumper.
Yeah, true. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam.
Deserted.
Nah, stop taking the mickey just because I mispronounced it.
So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service?
You're not saying that.
The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGuilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts.
Good gracious.
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him: his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGuilded!
I don't believe it.
Hold it! If I might add something briefly.
Miss Susato?
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGuilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
Good one.
Wait, where'd that bottle come from?
Is that allowed in the courtroom? Oh my!
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law.
Aha! There it is. Lord Van Zeek's Hello Chalice.
Oh, Lord, sorry, not Baron.
How can this be considered acceptable?
But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor.
What's he gonna do next? Say that what is man? A miserable pile of secrets have at you and then throw the glass at my head?
I'm waiting for the glass to be thrown at him.
I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it for myself. There's a lot of
Yeah.
in the phrasing.
It's a lot of expectoration.
As a judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh,
Yes, tremble. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence.
Oh boy.
The debtor's ledger has been entered into the court record.
My. Oh, it gives me chills. Yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense.
well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Oh goodness, her whole face.
Pouty face.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pity. Oh, sorry. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel.
Oh no!
Oh, I didn't notice the thing behind her turned black as well.
Still, maybe it's all for the best.
Wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before...
I don't stand for nonsense! Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
That was it. The last juror's decision.
Oh, the little book.
According to this encyclopedia of British law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections.
Mr. Zato, just tell me one thing.
Oh? Yes?
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your encyclopedia of British law.
Encyclopedia.
However, the defense... What did it say next?
Hurry, you have precious seconds.
Oh, yes, of course. One moment.
Oh my god!
She left the page.
When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict.
Yes, get on with it!
Then the footnote says, however, the defense...
And then that's all it says.
...has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
What does that mean?
A summary of events?
A summation? Examination?
Summation examination.
It sounds like a dance.
Yeah.
Objection!
I don't know.
Objection!
Objection! A summation examination. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
Bugger.
What even is it, Mr. Zato? This so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment and I'll
She
read about
keeps
it.
forget. She moves off the page. Put your finger in the book, Susato.
Sorry, I heard a noise. It's like, what the heck's that noise? I think there's a cat in a box and it's like
Oh,
playing. And
that's what it is.
I'm like, what's that noise? What's that noise? Sorry, I was just freaking out quietly over here. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand. Oh my god, I'm just going to do that again. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Racist.
Oh, right.
I just
Mr.
like saying
Naruhodo.
words that sound a bit like nipple.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, grow up.
Typical nipples.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Nipples.
I'm sorry.
We all have them.
Who needs them?
Who needs them?
Who needs them? They're just like us.
At least really shouldn't be a bit. This is just theft. This is just
It
theft.
is theft. We're sorry, Dropey. We're sorry.
No,
Please
now everyone
forgive-
knows where we've stolen it from.
All right, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes. In times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality, with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. And absolutely not because it made the job much more difficult for the prosecution. I've also noticed that the design on his bottle is the Grim Reaper, with two sides.
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
I
because
never
he's the
noticed
Reaper of the
that.
Bailey.
Oh, for God's sake.
Gasp!
Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Fortunately for me, I don't have any self-respect.
Still,
We are out of
I
options.
don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
I think you're a better lawyer than I am.
Summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out?
God, yeah, we're going to
I think
assert our right.
obviously we do it. Yes,
Hell yeah.
idiot. There it is, the noise, the bang.
We're going to conduct a demonstration of the examination of the summation and the fenestration.
Get a summation to
plantation.
the examination.
The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation, examination, domination, defenestration, explanation.
lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure.
That is why I have gone through the evidence so quickly that you cannot counter-examine it.
Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection. But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. Because it's a funny word. It's a funny phrase, and I like saying
quite
it.
like it.
It makes me feel a bit jiggy with it.
This is madness.
No,
Madness.
this
Is
Sparta!
Kick.
Boom, got it.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
I'm not. I was
punch me
hoping
head
that we
first.
could. I was hoping that we could go. I could go and get around at the pub, actually. But now that you've said that, I'm feeling. I'm going to have to let my friends know that I'm going to stand them up, and they're going to be quite cross with me. There was no mention of this in the letter I received. You see, so.
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds? But I thought I probably shouldn't tell them about how the prosecution paid me. About the bribe.
You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty.
But before they justify their decisions and explain why they believe the
Excuse
defendant
me.
to be guilty,
Excuse me, madam. Do you mind?
my lord, the time is up. We must leave. No, my lord. No, put your gavel down. Put the gavel down.
Madam,
Put
please, if you
the
please.
gavel down.
Madam.
Yes, dear viewers, it is time for us to end the episode for this week. But thank you very much for tuning in and watching our stupid behaviour. If you like what we do, just a little reminder to like, comment and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are notified of our videos, which are up every Wednesday and every Saturday.
Be a dinkum for us, will you?
Tax a million.
Dinkum,
That
dingle.
freaking word. I was there and I was like, what did he say? Oh, you said the word that we were confused with.
Weird. Yes.
Look, now everyone has learned something
Yes.
today, so our content is now
It is.
educational.
Yes. Yes, you learn something new every day.
That's it. Take care, everyone. See you in the next one.
See you next time.
We're very sorry.